This video is created by Jagrat Creation. It is on accounting for branches, independent branch. I wish to solve one sum here before you. Just observe the sum on the screen. X Limited manufactures a range of goods which it sells to the wholesaler customers only from the head office. In addition, the HO transfer goods to a newly opened branch at a factory cost plus 15%. The branch then sells goods to the general public on only cash basis. The selling price to the wholesale customer is designed to give a factory profit which accounts for 30% of the sales value. The selling price to the general public is designed to give a gross margin, selling price less cost of goods from HO at 30% of the sales value. Now see, HO sells goods through wholesaler and the profit percentage for wholesaler is given. HO sends goods to the branch at an invoice price. On that invoice price, the profit is added and goods are sold by branch to the general public. You are given the profit percentage for sales with wholesaler. You are given the profit percentage at which the goods are sold by branch to the customer, and you are also given the profit percentage or the load percentage at which the goods are invoiced by HO to branch. When this type of profits details are given to you in the sum, always remember either closing stock is missing or any information relevant to goods transaction is missing. Here you are given the trial balance of HO and branch. So opening stock, goods and etc. items cannot be the missing item. So stock at branch, stock at head office at the end of the accounting period is a missing item that you should infer. And even if you observe the sum, by the end of the observation, you will also notice that closing stock at HO, closing stock at branch is missing. That's a first important observation that you should draw reading the first paragraph. So closing stock at HO and branch is not given. Company operates from rented premises and leases all other types of fixed assets. The rent and hire charges for these are included in the overhead cost shown in the trial balance. From the information given below, you are required to prepare for the year ended on 31st of December 2017 in a columnar form, profit and loss account for HO, branch and the entire business, and the balance sheet as on 31st of December 2017 for the entire business. Now you are given the trial balance of HO, trial balance of branch. These are the adjustment information is given to you. On 28th of December 2017, the branch remitted 1500 to HO. And this has not yet been recorded in the books of HO. Also the same date the HO dispatched goods to the branch invoiced 1500. And these two have not been entered in the branch books. It is the company's policy to adjust the items in transit in the books at the recipient. Now see. This first adjustment tells about goods in transit and cash in transit 1500 each. So total of goods in transit and total of cash in transit amount is 3000. And if you notice, the inter-unit accounts 5000 is a debit balance in the books of HO and 2000 is the credit balance in the books of branch. The difference between 5000 and 2000 is 3000, that is equal to total of goods in transit and cash in transit. That's an important understanding that students should hold. The stock of raw material held at HO on 31st of December 2007 was valued 2300. This is the stock of raw material is given. Stock of finished goods is missing. You are advised there was no stock losses incurred at HO or at a branch. It is the company's practice to value the finished goods stock at an HO at factory cost. There were no opening or closing stock of work in progress. Branch employees are entitled to a bonus of 156 under the bilateral agreement. This is the information given to you. Now, first of all, I would like to explain the relationship of these profit percentages. Just observe. Sales through branch. Cost to HO 100, suppose. 15 is the load, so invoice price is 115. Now goods are sold to the public at a profit of 30% on the sales price. So if 100 is the sales price, then 30 is the profit, then 70 is the invoice price. And if 70 is the invoice price, then 30 is the profit. How much for 115? So 49.2857 is the profit to be added, and the sales price to the public is 164.2857. This is the sales price to the public. So goods of 100 sent to branch at 115. To that, 30% profit on sales price is added. So this is the sales price to the public is being arrived at. Now I want to, this information is very important to me for the purpose of finding out the finished stock, the closing stock of finished goods at HO and at branch. Now same way, sales to wholesaler, 100 is the sales value, then 30 is the profit. So factory cost of goods sold is 70. This is the relationship between cost, profit and sales for the sales made to wholesaler by head office. After explaining this percentage of profit, let me explain this first adjustment of goods in transit and cash in transit. And in light of that, I will just reconcile the inter-units account 5,000 and 2,000. Let me reconcile it first. And over and above, if you notice, goods sent to the branch is 46,000. Goods received from HO is 44,500. Here the goods sent and received difference is 1,500. That is also evident of goods in transit 1,500. Now let me reconcile these two in light of the goods in transit and cash in transit adjustment. Now for that, let me prepare books of HO branch account. So branch account debit, branch account, books of HO branch account, and here I prepare books of branch HO account. So this 5,000 is the debit balance, books of HO branch account, branch debit balance 5,000, books of branch HO account 2,000 credit balance. Now the first entry, on the same day HO dispatches goods of 1,500, and these two have not been recorded into the branch books. Transit in the books of the recipient is to be made. Now HO has sent the goods, branch is the recipient, so adjustment entry will be recorded at the receiving end. So branch will record the adjustment entry for goods in transit. So books of branch. Now what is the normal entry that we record for goods in transit? Goods in transit account debit to HO account credit. But in this sum, I want to reconcile this goods sent and goods received. So I would like to write down the entry goods received from HO account debit to HO account credit. So notice, goods received from HO 44,500. Goods in transit is recorded as a received goods. That is at the recipient end the entry is to be recorded. So here 44,500 will become 46,000. This is the change that I have made. And here 2,000 was the balance and HO account is credited with 1,500. So this balance, now it will become 3,500. Now same way, I want to write the adjustment entry for cash in transit. On 28th of December, the branch remitted 1,500 to HO. Branch remitted to HO. HO is the receiver. Recipient end is HO. So HO will write the adjustment entry. Cash in transit account debit to branch account credit. So cash in transit account debit to branch account credit. This cash in transit I will add to the cash balance 22,000. So my cash balance is 22,000. To that I would like to add 1,500 and branch account is to be credited with 500. So branch account is credited with 500 and this, notice it, 22,000 was the cash balance. Cash in transit is added because this cash is in transit of with the head office is the owner, because cash is sent by branch to HO. HO is going to receive it. So I add to the cash balance 22,000 plus 1,500, 23,500. So in light of this cash in transit, this cash balance is changed. In light of this goods in transit, the goods received from HO is changed. And now the balance in this HO account and branch account I will work out. So 3,500 is the credit balance of HO account. So books of branch HO account 3,500. This 2,000 has changed to 3,500. And this 5,000 minus 1,500, that has changed to 3,500. So this has changed to 3,500 and this has also changed to 3,500. So this is how entries are recorded. Cash in transit, entry at the receiver's end is being done. So this is how here reconciliation has taken place. Now, I would like to find out the closing stock at HO, closing stock at branch. For that, first of all, in light of this closing stock of raw material, I would like to find out the raw material consumed. Opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock is equal to raw material consumed, so that I can find out the cost of production. Opening stock of raw material plus purchases minus closing stock, 34,500 is the raw material consumed. So in my trading and profit and loss account, when I'm going to prepare trading and profit and loss account, I'm going to record this material consumed 34,500. By recording this material consumed in my trading and profit and loss account, I'm going to avoid the recording of opening stock and purchases and closing stock separately in trading account. That's an important point to be noticed. Now, I want to find out the closing stock at HO. So this branch details should not confuse me. So I keep a curtain on the branch details. Now let me first of all find out the cost of production. So opening stock of finished goods in the HO books. Now production cost, raw material consumed, plus direct wages, plus factory overheads. So total goods produced during the year 1,82,000 plus opening stock was 13,000. Both together, goods available for sales and sending to the branch 1,25,000. Out of that, sales is 2 lakhs. As I already explained to you, profit percentage is 30%. So 2 lakhs into 30% profit is 60,000. So cost of goods sold to wholesaler 1,40,000. Now cost of goods sent to branch. So total goods sent to the branch 46,000. Now to find out its cost, 15% profit element is to be removed. So 46,000 into 15 upon 115 is the profit element in 46,000, that is 6,000. So cost of goods sent to branch is 40,000. Closing stock at HO 55,000 minus 40,000, that works out to be 15,000. This is how stock at HO at the end of the year is worked out. Opening stock of finished goods, cost of production is added. Sales minus profit brings cost of goods sold to the wholesaler. This is 46,000 is the invoice price of goods sent to the branch. From that, profit element is removed. So cost of goods sent to the branch. So by deducting total goods available for sales, including opening stock and production, this is how the closing stock at HO 15,000 is being found out. This is the cost of finished goods at factory cost. It doesn't hold any profit element. That's an important point. After that, I want to find out the stock at branch. Now, this is the information that I'm going to use for the purpose of finding out the stock at branch. Opening stock plus goods from HO. This is the total goods available at invoice price available for sale. Sales 65,200. In that, this is the profit element, 49.2857 is the profit element. So this is the profit element in a sales of 164 164.2857. How much for 65,200? So 65,000 multiplied by 49,2857 divided by sales value 164.2857, you will get the profit element, that is 19,560. So 19,560 profit is deducted. So this is the cost of goods sold. So this is the stock at branch. So 9560 is the stock at branch at an invoice price. Now this is at invoice price, remember it. Now if the stock is reported at an invoice price, you are required to find out the profit element, that is unrealized profit in the closing stock, and to that extent you are required to create a stock reserve for the closing stock. So how much is the stock reserve required? So 9560 into 15 upon 115. So this is the stock reserve required. I have already stock reserve of provision for unrealized profit in stock at the beginning of the year 1200. So additional reserve required during the year, only 47 rupees is the additional provision that I am required to make while solving the sum. That's an important point. Remember, the profit that I have worked out to be 19,560 that I should get while preparing trading and profit and loss account. Similarly, we have already worked out the profit for HO also, and that will be reflected in our trading and profit and loss account when we prepare it. Now this is how closing stock at branch at an invoice price. Stock reserve additional required 47 is worked out. Closing stock at HO is also worked out. Now, if you remember, how much is the profit that head office has earned? On this 2 lakh sales, 30% profit 60,000. In this 46,000, there was a 6,000 profit. So total profit earned by head office is 66,000. So when we prepare trading and profit and loss account, we will get a profit in trading account 66,000 for HO, and 19,560 will be the profit that we are going to achieve while preparing the trading account for the branch. This is how I have explained the important points of this sum by preparing relevant working notes. Now let me start with the sum. So this is the trading and profit and loss account prepared in columnar form. This is the balance sheet that I have prepared. Now, material consumed that I write on the debit side of HO's profit and loss account. By writing this material consumed, I will avoid writing opening stock, purchases and closing stock in trading account will be avoided, but the closing stock of raw material will appear in my balance sheet. So stock of material 2,300, that will appear in the balance sheet. This stock is already accounted in this material consumed, so no need to write it once again in trading account. Now branch employees are entitled to a bonus. Bonus is an expense debited to the profit and loss account of branch and bonus payable liability in the branch balance sheet. So this bonus to staff is an expense debited to branch profit and loss account. So this is how these 2 and 4 adjustments are done. First adjustment is goods in transit and cash in transit already considered, and its effect in trial balances is already reported. Now this is the stock at HO. HO trading account credit side, balance sheet asset side. This is the stock at branch, trading account credit side, balance sheet asset side. But in that, remember, there is a stock reserve of 1247. So this stock has a profit element of 1247. So if you work out the cost, so this total minus this profit element 231313 is the cost of closing stock at the end. That's an important point to be understood. And the additional provision required, the stock provision is always created in the profit and loss account of head office, because in stock the unrealized profit is from the point of view of the head office, or even if the branch and head office has got a combined legal entity, so 47 is to be debited to the HO account for creating additional stock reserve over and about 1200 existing in the trial balance. Now, raw material purchase done, direct wages, HO trading account debit, factory overheads trading account debit, stock of raw material I won't write. finished goods, opening stock, head office and branch. Total I write in the total column. That is for the entire entity. Debtors will appear on the asset side. HO balance sheet asset side. Cash balance, cash includes cash in transit. If you remember, 1,400, 2,300 plus 1,000, 24,500 is the total cash under the ownership. Administrative salary debited to profit and loss account. Total is recorded in the combined profit and loss account. Salesman salary debited to HO and branch profit and loss account. Total recorded in the combined profit and loss account. Other administrative and selling charges same way debited to profit and loss account and total is recorded. Inter-units account are already agreed, means reconcile. Capital liability side. Creditors liability side. Sales I will write to the credit side of trading account. Goods sent to branch. Goods go out, trading account credit. Goods from HO, trading account debit for branch. In branch, goods from HO, 46,000. This is how all the information is recorded. Now I want to find out the profit. Total of credit side minus total of debit side. Total of credit side is 2 lakh plus 46,000 plus 15,000, 2 lakh 61,000. 2 lakh 61,000 minus 1 lakh 95,000, 66,000 is the profit that we have already worked out in a working note. If you remember, that profit is transferred to the credit side of profit and loss account. Now I want to find out the gross profit for branch. 74,760 minus 46,000 and 9,200, 19,560 is the profit. If you remember, we have already worked out this profit in our working note. That is transferred to the credit side of profit and loss account. This is the total profit. Now let us find out the net profit. 66,000 minus all these expenses. This is the net profit. This net profit will be added to the capital, means liability side. This is the net profit of branch. Now net profit of branch, you are required to write the transfer entry. Profit of branch will be transferred to HO. So profit and loss account debit to HO account credit. That entry will be recorded by branch. And the profit is recoverable from branch. For that, adjustment entry will be recorded by HO. Branch account debit to profit and loss account. So I have already prepared. This is the profit of HO that I write on the inner column. Now for branch, if you remember, I have already prepared the balances in this fashion. So books of branch HO account, the amount profit is transferred to HO. This is the books of branch HO account. Credit balance 3,500. Profit transferred to HO. Profit HO account is just like a capital account in the books of branch. Profit is added to capital, so it's added here. So 10,404 is the HO account balance that will appear on the branch balance sheet liability side. This is the branch account. 3,500. Profit is chargeable. So branch account debit to profit and loss account credit. So here branch account is debited and profit and loss account is credited. General profit and loss account is credited. So this will go to the total column. And this closing balance. Now this closing balance, credit balance will appear in branch, trial balance on the liability side. And this is recoverable amount in the individual balance sheet of HO on the asset side. This is the amount recoverable from branch. This is branch, this is the amount payable to the HO. So this is how you can prepare the individual balance sheet of HO and branch. But remember, don't forget to transfer this 1247. So this is the mutual indebtedness. In a combined balance sheet, you can't declare that amount recoverable from branch or amount payable to HO. You can't report anyway in a combined balance sheet. So in combined balance sheet, this amount will not appear because there cannot be any dues or obligation towards myself, but this is for the individual balance sheet that I record. Now, don't forget to transfer the stock reserve 1247 because the stocks are recorded here at an invoice price and the reserve is created. 1200 plus additional 147, reserve appears on the liability side. Now, after that, if you make a total of HO balance sheet, it will agree. Now, if you make a total of branch balance sheet, it will agree. And if you make a total of combined balance sheet, it will agree. This is how the balance sheet agreement is being reported. In this general balance sheet, you can't write HO account or branch account because you can't write any obligation towards yourself and any claim against yourself. So this is in the individual balance sheet that we report this 10,404 and 10,404, but it is never reported in the general balance sheet. And don't forget to write down this 1247, the stock reserve. It's a credit balance and that is created by HO. So that reserve also should appear in the HO balance sheet. So I have tried to explain you this sum. This is an important sum. I feel that you have followed all these things. Thanks to all.